Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The DK Effect. A real-life diary of a madman.
It's time for the DK Effect. Oh, 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 oh. Come on. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Come on. Oh, 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 oh. It's time for the DK Effect. Oh, 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 oh. Come on. Oh, 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 oh.
Well, top of the day, everybody. My name, DK. It's great to be here. I am feeling so energized today. Watch out. Very eventful week and weekend, but I'm feeling great today. And to start things off, though, I just there's always something on the Winter Olympics, and I loathe the cross-country skiing. But there's one that was on in between hockey games, or it was the end of the period or something. But anyway, they called it the sprint. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is going to be good. Cross-country sprint. So I'm watching it, and they're doing their normal, shuffle and little slides here and there. And then out of nowhere, as a group, they all start running with skis on. Now, here's something to add to your bucket list, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anybody out there that can run while they're cross-country skiing with their skis on? Anyway, folks, you wanted updates. You're after me for progress. Oh boy, do I have a boatload for you today. As I stated earlier, last week was a extremely eventful week, and lots and lots and lots going on, and I am going to fill you in right now. So, other than physio, which has been going good and was supposed to come to an end, I managed to extend it for another couple weeks because, as you know, I'm not driving. And I got to get behind the wheel because I found some classes, some more physio, but it's across town, and I just can't have people driving me all over the place. So there's the first thing. I went to my family doctor, mainly to finish up some disability paperwork, which will enhance my pension a lot. And I'm basically telling the doctor what he has to do, which is in a way scary. I got a new sleeping pill that actually works. It's very mild. I just stick it under my tongue half hour before bed, but nothing was working. And I find when you're recovering and exercising and going through all these mental exercises that rest is very important. And I don't want to, nap for 3 hours a day. I want to sleep the night like a normal person. So initial report is that it's very good. I also went to my internist on the following day and got some good news for a change. My liver, the readings are down, and it's slightly swollen, but that baby, like the rest of my organs when I went in, was severely beat up. So that was great to hear. Got a little jab at me, though. The guy has a little bit of a sense of humor. He's like, oh, and they noted on here that you might be getting a stone in your gallbladder. Great. Anyway, the ultrasound's out of the way. We moved to the heart. So I had a echocardiogram, and then I wore this thing around the house for 3 days. And man, here's a suggestion. Make the cord longer. It was a real pain, both sleeping and everyday things. But anyway, the results from there, my valves are good. My chambers are good. The resting heart rate's good. The normal heart rate's good. The heart rate while I'm exercising is good. So clear reports on the heart, which is always good news. And then we can't leave the internist without some kind of new challenge. So you ready for this? I'm not sure if I told you or not, but my cholesterol was high on my last blood work when I went to the family doctor. Well, now we've got to review it with the internist. And he's, this is good, thyroid's good, this is good. So two things happened. He took me off iron, I guess, in the multivitamins, because my iron, it's not high, but it's good enough, he put it, which means it's probably high. They put me on that in the first hospital because my hemoglobin and blood pressure was so low. So now I'm off that. So we've gotten off of one of the P pills, multivitamin, and the iron. But then we get more. But then we turn to the cholesterol. And the doctor is just kind of, the first doctor was kind of like, no red meat, no cheese, yada, yada. And I was kind of like, yeah, right, with Dr. G. I just, yeah, sure, I'll cut back on it. Well, I've been put on a diet, and he basically told me to eat vegetables and fish. And he was very clear on saying, and I mean fish that swim, not bottom dwellers like lobster and shrimp. And I'm not allowed to have sweets. I'm not allowed to have any dairy. And if you know me, I love cheese, and everyone loves a good steak off the barbecue, but that's a no-no. And as we conversed for a little while, I was able to get, okay, so a little bit of pasta with some hamburger in it is okay. Everything in moderation. At first he said no egg yolks. So, of course, I've gone and done, and no peanut butter. So what am I supposed to put on my toast? He says almond butter. I don't even know what almond butter is, but it probably tastes like zucchini. So anyway, I like fish. I'm okay with fish. I'll be okay. And my lunch meat or my sandwich is now like a lean chicken or turkey instead of bologna, but it's all good. So remember last week, just to close this part of it off, last week we did my story, and hopefully you did your story. We talked about smaller goals, and one of the goals I had was to get outside with my walker and go for a walk outside. Well, folks, I've gone around the block, and it might not seem like a lot to you, but it's big. It's big for me. So it felt great. And yeah, everything was, it's nice. So I'm heading in the right direction. When I'm done in the studio here, I'm going to try and push myself a little bit further today. Yeah, we're going. We're going now. So that was really exciting. Then I'll come home and have a piece of fish on a rye bread toast. So in closing for the weekend, my dog, my eldest dog, I have two dogs, Ziggy, he was in and out of the vet for 3 days. Glaucoma, right off the charts. Wife's having a panic attack. Of course, 17 years, the dog's been here almost as long as I have. And with her, I mean, I'm much older than 17. But anyway, it turns out she's okay. She's home today. She's eating, she's drinking water, she's wagging her tail, she's barking again. So that little scare or bump in the road turned out to be okay. Anyway, apparently we have a big announcement this week. So I urge you to stay tuned for what that big announcement is. And I will be back right after this.
Coming next week on Chapter 5, the first of a 3-part interview with Stu. Coming to us all the way from London, England. Stu will discuss when he chose to make a drastic lifestyle change and how it is still evolving today. At first, people didn't take him seriously. They even teased and joked about his choices. That didn't stop Stu from getting off the couch, exercising, and changing his diet. Setting goals, and once they were achieved, new ones were set. The captain of Team Grandpa. Stu is a master storyteller and inspiration and a true testimony that once you make up your mind, never look back. Be sure to join us for this first of the series of real people telling their real stories. You're not going to want to miss it.
Rome had the courage to share his raw and real story. He shared that he had tried to end his life 4 times. He was in financial stress, going through a breakup, sleeping on a friend's couch, and asking himself the same question over and over, why me? Then one moment shifted his destiny. Listening to Tony on a podcast, Rome heard a line that changed everything for him. The biggest problem is people think they're not supposed to have problems. His identity shifted. Rome saw that being a victim was a choice, and in that instant, he decided to stop being a victim. He changed his physiology by putting on his shoes and stepping into a gym, even without knowing how he'd pay rent. His focus and language shifted too, as he stopped asking, why me, and started owning his story. The problems didn't vanish, but they stopped defining him and became a sign of life and growth, not failure. Rome didn't wait for the perfect conditions or permission. He stepped up when it mattered most. And that's true for you too. No matter where you are in life, your next level ignites the moment you decide to rise.
5 to thrive. All right, so here's this week's little lesson or exercise, and as always, I encourage you to participate. This one's not so bad. There's not too much work, but there's always work. But it's like practice. The more you do it, the better you get. So here's 5 elements that are your roadmap to lasting change and an extraordinary quality of life. I mean, we all want that. So this is to help keep the momentum strong. And here's what the 5 are. I'm going to cover those with you today. The first one is identity shapes your choices. So the first element is identity. The strongest force in the human personality is the need to stay consistent in how we define ourselves. Define who you are. Step 1. Define who you are. Becoming and act from that identity today. Today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. But today. I mean, are you a person who defies the odds, always gets it done, or loves no matter what life throws at you? That's the ideal one. Make sure it's an identity that empowers you. Okay, so the next 3 steps are kind of 2 to 4. It's the triad that controls your state. The next 3 steps are the triad. I want you to visualize a triangle. So there's your physiology, your focus, and your language that creates meanings or meaning for the events in your life. So example, you can change how you move your body. The warrior, get up and do some stretching, good song comes on, have a little dance, go for a walk, whatever. Get your body moving. That's been proven. That's one of the things that can get you going. Shift your focus to what matters. And I guess this kind of ties back to the story, but you've got to decide what matters. What matters to you, and this is going to help you form your identity. Use words that create an empowering meaning. If you can't focus on what matters, if that's a little bit big, then create words that create an empowering meaning, like a daily motivational, or something in a book, or something on your fridge, or something inside your head that works for you. Change one, and your entire state changes. Okay? Physiology, focus, and the language that you use. You change one, and your entire state changes, we talk about that a lot. The fifth and the final element is a compelling future. It ties right back into the new story. This is a clear, emotionally charged vision of where you are going. One that pulls you forward because you serve something more than yourself. Time stretches when you're connected to a compelling purpose. You're not pushing yourself to do more. You're drawn into it. Write that down. You're not pushing yourself to do more. You're drawn into it. And suddenly, getting up early or staying up late doesn't feel like a grind because energy follows meaning. So when these 5 pieces fit together, they fuel extraordinary progress and a lasting sense of fulfillment. Yeah, as always, I'm going to get you to commit to something this week. I want you to commit to thriving this week. Pick at least one of the 5 that thrives and commit to applying it every single day for a week. Your next level of an extraordinary life starts right now with the choices that you make today. So I want to give you an example of how simple the language that has meaning. If you can't, here's one. 2, do it poorly until you do it well. There's a gold mine at the bottom of that hill covered in dirt. Little things, pop them into your head. All right, so that was, all right, kids. I'm going to talk to you about a few things, including the big announcement right after this, and then we'll wrap it up for this week.
Here are some fun facts for you. During the Prohibition era, New York City had an estimated 30,000 to 100,000 speakeasies. Michael Jordan made an estimated $300 million in 2024 and remains the highest paid athlete of all time with $4.15 billion in earnings. And finally, in 1984, President Ronald Reagan called ice cream a nutritious and healthy food and established National Ice Cream Month.
Back over to you, the girl. 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 Back over to you, the girl.
Okay, I guess I told a fib. I'm going to give you one more job, task, whatever you want to call it for this week. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the framework of the 5 to thrive. I want you to give up a bad habit this week. I'm not saying you got to quit smoking or go on a diet if you're not ready or run a marathon or anything that's steep. I want you to stop criticizing. I want you to stop complaining. I want you to stop seeing the negative in everything. And I want you to really put some work in that this week. And tied in with what we just talked about, perhaps, that'll help. Big guest next week. You're going to have to wait till next week. But I confess, this is a good friend of mine. He's become a mentor, coach, and just a positive voice in my ear, no matter what. When others are negative or condescending, he's always positive. And he's in England, and we text through Messenger. We chat daily. And I have to admit, I was one of the ones back when we were doing the other show, and Stu was on it with us for a while there. I joked, I teased, and I didn't understand why he was making this life shift. And it's a great story he tells. Every story he tells is a great one. But it's a chance to have a voice different than mine here on the show. And I guarantee, if I can't get you motivated, Stu will. So next week, the first of a 3-part series with Stu. I'm going to be sitting and talking to him this week. Can't wait. And it'll be a refresher course for me as well, because I'm new to all this again. Okay, folks, I want you to remember that recovery is not linear. It's a profound journey that often requires rebuilding both physical and mental. All right, new articles up on the webpage, www.thedkeffect.ca. All brand new. Go check them out. All right, go big. Go big this week. Be positive. Be kind. Do something. Get up and move. Shake it. Shake what you were given. Smile at a stranger. Hold open a door. You never know what they're going through, and you just may make their day. Until next time, kids, I'm DK.
Thanks for tuning in to the show. Come join us again next time.
Never, never, never look back. Keep going and don't give up. Never, never, never look back. Keep going and don't give up. Never, never, never look back. Never, never, never look back. Keep going and don't give up. Never, never, never look back. Keep going.